Top of the fifth, No leads things off against Park. Here's your 0-2 pitch. Fly ball dead center field, going back and gone. Dead center field. It's now a one-run ball game. 4-3. No hits that thing. 423 to dead center field. It's a one-run ball game. All right, everyone. Welcome in. Judgemetaltv. Continuing coverage of the KBO. Our Hanwha Eagles. We're in mid-June now. And the team is looking really good over the last month. Things have been definitely going our way. You can see the standings there in the upper left-hand corner. The Eagles sitting in first place now. 35-23-2. We've got a 2.5 game lead over LG, Kia, and Kai Woom. And then Samsung sitting there 4.5 back. So it's still tight. But we have moved up the standings with an outstanding performance so far in the month of June. We'll take a look at the calendar in a second. Standout players. We'll look at the offense first. Of course, we'll start with our third baseman, Noh. 352, 17 home runs, and 55 RBIs into this season. What are we? 60 games into this season now? Yeah, 60 games into this season. He's got 55 RBIs. You can look at Hyun-jin Ryu. Last year, he was our center fielder. We moved him over to left, which is more of a natural position for him, hoping that the offense would blossom. A 21-year-old, I believe 21-year-old now, hitting .308, 2 home runs, 27 RBIs. So he is coming into his own, doing a great job. Probably should be looking to move him up in the lineup. But we've got Jung and we've got Kim, 1-2 in the lineup. Now those two guys, you look at those numbers, the 246 batting average for Jung does not impress. The on-base percentage has been better all season. Let's take a quick look here at some deeper stats. And you can see that he has currently a 383 on-base percentage. So the batting average, not real high, but this guy's drawing plenty of walks and he's getting on base. Kim behind him, 236. Again, much of the early part of the season, he was hitting below 200. So that average brought it up to 236. It's kind of leveled off a little bit here lately, but 36 stolen bases, I believe, is where he is at right now. He is on a pace to steal 86 as he's going right now. 331 on base percentage. That obviously could be better, but he sits with a 2.2 WAR, and that projects out to a 5.3. So you're looking at a guy who, man, if we can just crank up that on-base percentage just another 20, 30 points, just an unstoppable weapon. And what we've been doing is, if you look at the offense in total, you'll see there's not a lot of great numbers. It's not a team that's tearing up. We're 7th in batting average, so we're sitting at 5th in on-base percentage, 7th in OPS, but we are 3rd in batting WAR, so that's interesting. A lot of that coming from Noh, I'm sure. But the secret to the success of this team has been guys getting on base and running. Jung, Kim, Moon, Ha, the shortstop, since he's come back, he's started to steal some bases. And even In-ho-che, our right fielder, has started to get in on the game. So all of these guys are stealing bases. They're getting on, they're making things happen, setting up guys like Noh and Moon as well. The offense is centered around basically Noh and these other folks getting on base and making some things happen, which is one of the reasons why we hesitate a little bit to move Moon up, because right now Jung and Kim are doing an all right job getting on base, and they're getting to second. They're getting the scoring position with Noh at the plate. Take a look at our pitching staff. We'll start with the starting rotation. You can look down there. Ryu, 9-1. Sub-2 ERA. Castaneda had a just terrible first 4 or 5 starts of the season. Now he sits at 2-3 with a 3.72 earned run average. Felipe Vera is 7-1. Lee, the veteran who wasn't going to be in the rotation this year, but because of some injuries, opportunity presented itself. He's taken advantage of it so far. 4-3, 2.97 ERA. And then Si-hwan, we traded for this guy. We brought him in. to be the 5th starter. Injury set him back at the beginning, but now he's in the rotation and throwing the ball well. 3-2, 3.23 ERA. Starters ERA, 2nd in the league. Look down here at the bullpen. Joe doing a superb job as closer. Kim and Erla and Jung are setting up well, and Parks is dropping down into the middle reliever role. Has had an outstanding season as well. So overall, the bullpen is 2nd in ERA. But yeah, that's it. 35-23-2. Let's take a look at the calendar. And as you can see here on the left-hand side, last 10 games, the team is 8-2. April 8-12-2. Not a great start. We were very worried at that point. May 18-9. Things started to pick up right there. And now so far in June, we are 9-2-0. So continuing on, moving up the standings, as we said, first place team now. We've gone over the numbers. So let's get ready to play some baseball. One question I'd like to propose to you. Last video, we took a look at the draft pool for the 2025 KBO season. It looks very, very deep to me. And I'm bouncing around in my head is a couple of different ways that we can approach this as we are scouting all these players and preparing for the draft. Looking for your feedback on what do you think, what position is the biggest need? Where should we go with this draft when we look at it? Because in the past, the talent's been kind of thin, so you kind of just went and got the best player. But this year, you can go in a lot of different directions. The team, to me, needs another right-handed bat that can hit the ball out of the park consistently. I think that's the first need of this team. But there's a lot of talent in that draft. So maybe some of these high-potential starting pitchers, there's some really good relief pitchers, actually. I've got them put on our watch list for, 3rd round and later. I might snatch some of them up. But, yeah, where do you think we should go? Where would you start to fill in any of the gaps on this team? And we've made a run here. We're in first place. Is this real? Are we looking for one more bat to get us over the top? Or are we just hot earlier in the season and we're really that 4th, 5th place team that we thought we were earlier in the season? All right, so here we go. We're on the road taking on SSG. The Landers took game 1 of this series from us earlier this afternoon. That snapped an 8-game winning streak for the Eagles. Kim to the plate. As we said, if this guy can get on, he's on a pace to steal 84 bases this season. So base on balls, big deal. And there goes Kim. Big jump, throw down, not in time. Stolen base, number 37. Hyun-jin Ryu, the leader of this pitching staff, the leader of this team in a lot of ways, comes in 9-1. 1.81 earned run average, 84 in a 3rd inning, 62 strikeouts, just 11 walks, 65 hits allowed. So now the base is loaded with 1 out. Ryu in some trouble here in the 1st. Got him on a 3-2 pitch. Out number 2. Ground ball up the middle. Jung flips to second. Got him. Ryu out of the bases loaded jam. We're going to go to the 2nd. No score. All right, so here we go. 2 innings in a row where Ryu's got some trouble. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Park to the plate. 9 home runs for Park this season. And here's your 2-0 pitch. Ground ball. Jung has it. Flips to first. That's the end of the inning. Song, 4 innings pitched, just 1 hit, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Brings his ERA down to 4.28 for the season. And Kim now at the plate. Kim 0 for 1. 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base. Kim on 3rd, 2 outs. Here's the 3-1. Misses low and away. Kim is 0 for 1 currently. Runners are on the corners, 2 outs. Pitch to Kim. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. They leave 2 men on the corners. Moon back up the middle. Base hit. 2 men on now. Nobody out. On heading for 3rd. Here comes the throw. He is safe. Runners on the corners. Nobody out. Fly ball into center, dropping in front of the right fielder. And the right fielder covering a lot of ground right there. Gets over and throws that back in, but give him an RBI single. 1-0, Hanwha takes the lead. Nobody out, first and second. 1-0 pitch. Fly ball into center. And it's over his head, and it's going to get to the fence. Everybody's running. Ha is into second with a double. 1 run will score. Che will hold up at third base. 2-0 Hanwha. Now the catcher Kim steps in. He is 0 for 2. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball backhanded at shortstop. He can't hang on to it. A run will score. Safe all around. They'll call it an error. It looked like a tough play to me. Jung to the plate. He's 1 for 3. The 1-0 pitch. Line drive into right, sinking fast and dropping in front of the right fielder. That'll score another run. It's 4-0. Runners on first and second. 4 runs in the inning. 1-2 pitch to Kim. Swing line drive. That's going to get down into center field. Base hit. Runner comes around third to the plate. He scores easily. Make it 5-0 Eagles. And that walk will get Ryu to 107 pitches. And that'll do it for him for the day. 7 2/3, 7 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. ERA down to 1.66. They'll leave with a 6-0 lead. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Jang trying to finish this one off for Ryu. 6-0 Hanwha with the lead. Park to the plate again. 2 outs. The shortstop steps in. He is 1 for 4 today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball in the right field, drifting back right in front of the track. Comes back in. Lee makes the catch. That'll end the ball game. And let's take a quick look at the box score. 36-23 now for the Eagles after this 6-0 win. 6 runs on 10 hits. The Landers fall back to 530-30. They have no runs on 8 hits. Did commit 2 errors. 1 very costly error in that 5-run 6th inning. Look at Hanwha. Jung 2 for 5. Che 2 for 3. 2 runs scored and an RBI. That's a good hustle to pick up that 6th run. And Kim off the bench playing right field today went 2 for 5. The big story in this one for both teams is going to be pitching, though. You look at Song falls to 3-3. He threw 5 innings, didn't give up any earned runs, did walk 4. Ryu goes to 10-1, 7 2/3, 7 hits, no runs, no earned, obviously. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 107 pitches. Takes his ERA down to 1.66. Jang comes in and gets the last 4 outs to close this thing out. Win number 36 for Hanwha, and we will move on to the 3rd and final game of this series. The Landers took game 1. Hanwha wins game 2. Let's see who wins the series. So the Landers jump out to a 3-1 lead after the first. Eagles got a run in the first. Landers responded with 3 and led the rest of the way. Every time the Eagles would pull it back to a 1-run ball game, the Landers would respond. Final score 5-4. Moon playing second base today. He got 2 hits. Does a great job at second. Jung coming off the bench to give Ha a rest at shortstop. He collects 2 hits. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Eagles. 5 runs, 8 hits for the Landers. Should mention no hit home run number 18. He was 1 for 5 today. Looking at the pitching, Castaneda falls to 2 and 4. 6 innings, just really didn't have his good stuff today. 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 5 strikeouts, 93 pitches. Earned run average up to 3.89. Good job by the bullpen to get the final 6 outs there. Park goes to 3 and 4, 5 1/3, 3 earned runs. And then Che and So gets the save, number 13. So there you see the standings after the 3-game series. The Landers take game 1 and game 3. Eagles picked up the victory in game 2. Eagles hang on to first place, but Kia cuts it down to a game and a half. 2.5 lead over LG, 3.5 over Kaiwoom. Landers down there tied with Samsung, 5.5 out at 31-30. Disappointed to drop 2 or 3 to the Landers, but in the overall scheme of things, very happy to be 36-24-2, sitting in first place at this point in the season. It's above expectations. We got Vera gone in the next game. He's 7-1 with a 2.31 ERA. So things looking very good right now for the Eagles. Once we advance to the next game, we'll be sitting at the 17th of June. It has been a month since we have lost a series. The last time we lost a series, you look at 13, 14, 15 of May. Lose those first 2 games to LG, 18-0. Came back to salvage that. That was a pretty low point. Since then, it's been a pretty good run for the Eagles. You can see a lot of green in the end of May and into June. So that's it for today. 36-24-2, first place Eagles. Thank you for hanging out, checking out our KBO coverage. If you're still with us, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe to get notifications of when we post new videos about the Eagles. We're going to continue this season, get into the playoffs, see how far we can advance. Plus, we've got the draft coming up. We've got scouting reports in our inbox to take a look at future Eagles. So thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate your time. And have a great night.